Hey, good morning, everybody. It's early morning to LALATE. It's a 6 a.m. edition, which comes before the 6:30 edition, unless you know it's Larry Kudlow's calculator that comes after. But I'm so glad you joined me. The toast is toast and the butter is buttering. I'm here, you're here, and guess where is Congress? Give a guess where Congress is. Drop in the comments below. Where do you think Congress is? Let me give you a hint. They're about to do an extension. If one of the few times in life that I wish I was reporting about hair extensions. God, I really wish I was reporting Nancy Pelosi's doing a hair extension, but I'm not. Last night, Nancy Pelosi did another type of extension. It was not for her hair. It was because she can't get anything done for stimulus. And yeah, this House passed an extension last night. So today, the Senate decides whether they want to do extension or whether Mitch likes his hair the way it is. What are the lobsters saying? The lobsters saying, I'm just not clawing at this. The president may clap back, may veto it. Yeah, it's still a possibility. Meantime, the president wants you to have a $1,200 to $2,000 stimulus checks. The Democrats have now added eviction moratorium and mortgage forbearance. Have added rent. I mean, they're just adding things at the 11th hour. Did they not realize it was a deadline? Oh yeah, there's a deadline. Just start adding some stuff. You're adding things in there. Why don't you add our multiple stimulus checks? Why don't if you clean up everything, why don't you just sort of clean up the multiple stimulus checks and clean up the FPC retroactive for like the last 22 months? And while you're in there, why don't you clean up by putting a new Speaker of the House in there as well? Hey, good morning, everybody. It's early morning to LA, and I'm here, you're here. The toast is toast and the butter is buttering. And boy, I'm so glad we made it to the weekend. Thank you for the incredible, kind comments. As a great community, you've been all week long, and I have some really good news to start the new morning. So please subscribe. The good news is that Roberta, one of the volunteers, says that United Way and Salvation Army is providing gifts to families in need during this holiday season. And viewers asked me to remind you about Toys for Tots, which is really quite good for ensuring you can get a gift for your child if you're financially having difficulty during this holiday season. So that's the first thing. Second, the volunteers are ensuring that you get food, and there's a lot of food grants, free food things across the board. So we want to ensure that you're not hungry. Meantime, I'm ensuring that you also have a house and a home. So please subscribe, because I'm fighting around the clock, and the volunteers are just absolutely salt of the earth and working around the clock as well to ensure you get money right now, not 5 days from now, not 5 weeks from now, for rent. In this video above, I will pin a link to the new community page, which has the list of volunteers who are ensuring to help you get rent aid. Whether your city, county, or your state is not doing it, they're finding incredible private organizations around the clock. That's the spirit of this channel, so please subscribe. Also hit the alert button and also like this video. If you're joining me at 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, there's an instant premiere over here on the side, and that instant premiere is a great way to communicate with the followers of this channel. So if you see someone asking a question and you sort of know the answer, share it with them. It's sort of like Purple Power Live in early morning. So if you know where in Indiana they're doing rent, then drop in the comments. Or if you know where they're doing it in Mississippi, drop it in the comments. Or if you don't know the link to the community page and you have seen it in the pinned comment, and you can link it to that person, news.lalate.com/community, share it with the person. That's the spirit of this channel. And I really appreciate you for joining me. So much breaking news across the board today. So let's get to the breaking news. The breaking news this morning is that we will learn this Friday whether Mitch McConnell will call a vote for an extension of the CR, the continuing resolution bill, which has a December 11th deadline, and whether the president will approve it or veto it. Here's where we sit today. The continuing resolution bill is a bill to fund the federal government. If it's not funded, the federal government shuts down and they don't get their stimulus checks. Well, guess what they rushed to do? Well, there's employment checks. Guess what they rushed to do? Late last night, Nancy Pelosi pushed forward in the House before her Democrats an extension of the CR for 1 week. It was approved. So now it goes to the Senate. It is not a law yet. It is not a law. So the Senate votes on it today, and then the president, well, if they call for a vote, Mitch can choose not to call for a vote if he doesn't like it. I forgot to include that variable. And then if Mitch wants it, he'll call for a vote and it'll get approved, and then it goes to the Senate, goes to the president, and if the president wants it, he will sign it, and you will be extended for a week. Now, that was not good news to end last night on, but again, we still don't know this Friday if it's going to get passed or not. I'll be updated throughout the course of the day. Meantime, we had a lot of great news across the board. The great news was really great news. It just was coming too darn late. I mean, the ball is about to happen, and the prom and the princess are just arriving at the 11th hour. It's just, why can you just not come earlier? Did you not get the itinerary? What happened yesterday? Well, $1,200 to $2,000 stimulus checks is where the president would likely get this to land, says Representative Josh Hawley out of Missouri, Republican. This is where he believes the president wants the stimulus check to land. Meantime, Democrats across the board, whether it's House or Senate, and on both sides of the aisle, whether the progressive Democrats or conservative Democrats, say they want a $1,200 stimulus check in the bill and will veto anything or vote against it unless it has $1,200 in it. Now, the question is how strong they're going to go to the mat to it. They say they're going to go to the mat to it. And some Republicans are vowing to do the same. So this is all incredible great news. But the incredible great news continued yesterday with a new proposal that calls for an eviction moratorium and mortgage forbearance and rent aid. Now, you know what I'm about to say. This is just, you know what I'm about to say. Joe Biden, a week ago today, came out and said, well, I see the proposals, and the problem with both proposals is that there's no eviction moratorium and mortgage forbearance. It needs to be in there. And there needs to be a stimulus check. And that stimulus check of $1,200 is still in play. That was a week ago. Guess what took an entire week for all the Democrats to not hear what Joe said and to suddenly, at the 11th hour before the deadline elapses, to say, you know what, we're going to put eviction moratorium and mortgage forbearance. Did they not take notes of the things they got to do? Item number 1, eviction moratorium. Item number 2, mortgage forbearance. Item number 3, stimulus check. Oh, I forgot to take care of it. Let me just get it at the last second. And getting it at the last second caused pandemonium yesterday because we literally had 5, 6, 7, 8 different proposals. It's just at this point, no one knows how many proposals is. No joke. It's just there's too many of them. What's important to understand is the White House doesn't have a specific proposal. The Democrats don't have a specific proposal. Mitch does have one. It still remains his $500 stimulus package at the beginning. He has not changed it. There's been a lot of fake narratives everywhere that Mitch adopted this and Mitch agreed to this and Mitch added this. No. Mitch is still Mitch. He's still where he started. So what's going to happen? Well, if Mitch calls us for an extension vote today and it gets extended by Mitch and the president signs it, then the reality will be you will not get a stimulus check from the federal government by Christmas, December 25th. It will just be the reality. Now, could you get a stimulus check after that? Yes. So 10 days it takes to get a stimulus check after it becomes law. December 11th was the deadline this time. You would have gotten it by December 21st. Now we adding 7 days to it. That's December 28th approximately, after Christmas. Meantime, how about everything else? Well, UI and PUA will likely expire, but both of all the proposals seek to generally reinstitute PUA and UI and continue it to late January. So let me recap. Let's say your UI or PUA expires December 24th or December 23rd. It's different in every state based upon what your week is. And the bill would reinstate it and then carry you out one more month. FPUC, I don't see it happening. And then anything really big, that's just really sort of all over the place. Meantime, that $600 has been really just the big fake narrative. It was Steve Mnuchin on the phone calling someone up, Nancy, and said, what do you think about $600? That was basically the context. What do you think about $600? I don't like it, and I don't like anything you're saying to me, and I don't think you should have a proposal either. That's basically what she said. And so Mitch McConnell never adopted $600. The White House never adopted $600. In fact, they issued a statement that there is no determination from the White House what number they want. Mitch McConnell, Steve Mnuchin was just simply asking Nancy what her thoughts are on the subject matter. There we go. So what is the other items that are really encouraging today? The encouraging news is that cities and states and counties, private organizations, nonprofits across the board are stepping up and giving you money. And they're doing it in ways that are just absolutely incredible. Stimulus checks, rent, utilities, food, Christmas gifts. First United Way and Toys for Tots and Salvation Army. Roberta Volunteer wants you to know that they are reportedly sending out toys to families that cannot afford toys during this holiday season. So that's the first thing. If you're having problems getting those toys, then reach out to Volunteer Roberta in the community page. Next, if you are having problems getting food on the table during this holiday season, that's being taken care of. So all the volunteers are absolutely really in tune. Dreamweaver's doing a great job, Amber as well. A lot of volunteers are doing a great job for ensuring that there's food on the table for you this holiday season. Meantime, the big issue, rent, free rent. The free rent is the one that I want you to focus on if you are a renter, if you do have utilities, because this is thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. If you're sitting back and say, I just want a stimulus check, because, X, Y, and Z, I don't want you to do that because what will happen is that you may be focusing on a check that may be only a few $100s when you could have gotten thousands of dollars for rent. The rent being done is coming from your city, state, and county, state housing authority, county, and more. And then what also is now unfolding is private organizations, nationally known nonprofits that have been in business for over 100 years, are stepping forward and paying rent-free viewers as well. What I want you to know and understand with me this early morning is that if you're in a state in which you've looked, you've watched the videos, you've watched this channel, and you've looked, and you have not been able to find rent or utilities, understand this. There are organizations that are paying utilities across the board. So I'm fully confident you'll be able to get utilities paid for a couple of weeks or months. Then for rent, there's a lot of organizations that are stepping forward and paying rent. Meantime, there's just surprises happening everywhere. There's a new California stimulus item being paid by one organization. There's just things happening everywhere. And things are changing very, very, very quickly. So some people just don't know about these things, whether it's the stimulus check in New Mexico or Colorado, the stimulus rent in San Diego County, or Houston, or Nashville, or Atlanta, or DeKalb, or Gwyneth, the private organizations that are paying rent in Mississippi and Rhode Island. The list just goes on. And the great news is that there's a lot of help for money over this holiday season out there. And the help is landing fast. The volunteers are doing an incredible job. But ultimately, I see some comments that come in from people who found it by just watching my videos. And the comments are just inspiring. They say, LA, I got $14,000 to pay for my four-member family. It'll carry us all the way to March. You've changed our lives. We're one day away from homelessness. Or other viewers have said, I've given up hope. I couldn't find anything. And then I heard something from another viewer. And I said, wait a second, I just heard this from the other viewer and they're in your town. Go get this. And then they go get it. And they keep their home, their apartment because of it. It's that type of spirit that I want you to instill in not just your search, but helping others. If you watch one of these videos and you eventually get rent or utilities or something like that, go into Purple Power Live when I go live, or one of the videos when I go live, and make sure I see your comment that, hey, I got it from this. Tell other viewers to go get it. Because my ability to help you should be your ability to help others. And that's how I help others, because I don't know everything. It's not like I have a database. There's always someone in the comments that says, can you just make a database with a website that has a list of everything that's available out there? I don't know it. I don't make it because I don't know it. And so when viewers tell me, call this phone number in this city, Well, it's because I found out like 20 minutes before I recorded in a private message, or someone says Rhode Island has two private organizations. I learned it because I watched my own show, and I learned it from you. It's that type of spirit. So please subscribe. Also like this video. Coming up at the bottom of the hour at 6:30 is a continuation of the show. Big developments across the board. More additional coverage on that video about how you can get thousands of dollars in your bank account right now. So tune in for that. As always, stay informed, stay smiling, and stay in that life for more.